Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I hope everybody's doing well. Welcome to New York session. Okay, let's start. Before I start, give me just one minute. Let me share the link to. Okay, link shared. Let's start. All right, so we are currently looking at the dollar index, and what a night that we had. But before that, I want us to look at yesterday, because yesterday I did mention that during this session, during the afternoon session, we were going to get them to come and attack this low, right? And basically that's what we had, a run for that low. And then as soon as we went for it, price rejected. So on the foreign currencies, euro actually went for almost the high and then rejected, came back down again. So it actually came back and stopped me at break even, which not the best feeling in the world, because price was almost there, right? And this is sometimes some things that are gonna happen when you're trading. You will get some things like that, where the price will come back, stop you at break even, and then still move in your favor, which is what probably that might happen. Now, I'm not gonna give a forecast on these majors today, because we have the rate announcement coming in at 7. Let me check if it's 7. Okay, 6 p.m. So we have the rate announcement coming at 6 p.m. GMT, which you can convert it to your local time. So it's 6 p.m. GMT. And then the press conference is at 6:30. So it can affect what the dollar index is going to do, and because of that, I'm not actually gonna give any prediction, because that rate announcement can do anything. But if I was to do something with it based on what I'm currently seeing on the daily, let's go to a daily. Okay, since this candle is still trading, it can go up here and clear this equal high, or it can resume going down, which we do have some nice gaps down here. to be honest, it can go both ways. It can go both ways. So um, personally, when it's like that, I'm not actually interested in what price is gonna do. So when price can go both ways, I personally don't do anything with it. I only want to see one-sidedness. So if price is gonna move, I prefer to see it's gonna go up or it's gonna go down. But as it stands, I don't know which side it's gonna go, and because of that, I am actually not interested in. I won't say interested, but giving a forecast is going to be a difficult one because at the end of the day, when the news comes out, it can go anywhere. Okay, it can go anywhere. So because of that, we're not gonna give any forecast for the dollar index. Just reviewing some of the trade ideas that I shared with you yesterday. Okay. So pound actually went and took out the high, so it went to that target, which was I think I've got rid of the all the drawings that I had, but on Friday or Monday when I talked about this as an entry, I gave a target up here, which was right there, this candle's high. So that candle high was the target, and that's exactly where they went. So on Monday when I talked about, and you can go back and watch Monday's session, you hear me talk about price coming into this gap and then making its way to that level, right? And that's basically what we've had now. So upside is done. Now when we have the rate announcement during the course of the week like this, these are kind of trades that you take and then you move to the sidelines. You get this and then you're done. Whatever is going to happen for the rest of the week doesn't really matter for you because what you're looking for has been fulfilled. And you need to be very disciplined with this idea, which is when we have such rate announcement, you trade and then you get what you need to get and then you move to the sidelines. Okay, you basically get what you need to get and then you move to the sidelines. If you don't do that, whatever you've made prior to that will be given back to the market. Hence, today, once we've got that, euro, we didn't quite get everything, which is fine. If you did take it from Monday, yes, you would have got the target because the target was to come for previous week high, which we did. And then we pulled back yesterday, which I was trying to look for a continuation to the upside from here. So let's review it. Let's go to the lower time frame and review it because it did beautifully. Just that the target that I was looking for is what couldn't get all of it. So during the live session yesterday, we talked about the fact that when this candle closes above that gap, then price is gonna go up. So if you're an advance, then you can buy, put your stop loss below, and then expect them to continue going higher, which again, that was the target, but price couldn't get there. Or you wait for them to break this candle's high, which then become a breaker, and then you buy that and then go here. But price couldn't get there, and then it came right back, and then killed everything, right? I got that entry, and then it came back, stopped me at break even. So I'm on the sidelines for today on the euro. British pound, it did actually go all the way up to that level. I didn't get any entry on this. I focused mainly on the euro, right? Another one that I think I talked about Australian dollar, but that also did not give us an entry. Yeah, I think it was, yeah, we're looking for them to break this up candle before we look for the buy. That didn't happen. Something happened during the New York session, which was over there, breaking that up candle, and then we went up, but that again couldn't sustain, and then we came back down. Okay, so nothing in terms of trade ideas for Australian dollar. New Zealand dollar, the same thing. Nothing really happened here. That's the up candle that we were expecting them to break, and then we look for a buy. And they did that during the New York session, but again, it couldn't, because if I had bought this, I would have expected them to go for this high, and nothing happened. Okay. This one, it's actually moving there, which is low to this high. Now, maybe this one might not probably get to this level. It might not get there, and then it might resume going up. So watch this fair value gap. Again, the reason being we have the Australian New Zealand going down, right? We have the Australian New Zealand going down. So there is currently like a strength in the New Zealand, and because of that, you have the New Zealand being stronger. Hence, this might not pull back like the Australian New Zealand, because this is the one that I said, if I have a feeling that they're gonna come here and then we buy it. So those of you that were around, that was a nice trade idea from Monday. I'm sorry, from yesterday, and members on the platform. If you're there, I actually shared it this morning, and currently we are in that trade. Okay, so you're expecting them to go back up. So if you are not on that platform, make sure that when I share the trade ideas on the live session, you take note of them. So we are in this one, expecting them to go back up, but this might not come all the way down here. Now, remember I said there's news event around 9:30, or sorry, 9:45 on New Zealand GDP. That might impact this today at 9:45. So let's see how the rate announcement will impact this in the around 6 p.m. And then based on that impact, it's if they send it up. So if they send it up, then we will look for a pullback and continue going up. But if they send it down, then we buy it and then expect the GDP to send it back up again. So whatever happens, we are looking for higher prices. It's just a matter of entry now. So if the rate announcement comes out and they send it lower, so if they send it down, then at 9:45 we buy, or you buy a limit here. Then at 9:45, when the GDP comes out, they will send it back up again. Because I like the fact they've left this equal high. And last week I did share some I don't know if it was last week or this week, I shared some knowledge regarding how to anticipate a pullback versus a reversal. And pullback's always gonna leave the lower high, where sometimes this will be a reversal. Okay. All right. So that's that for the New Zealand card. Let's look at Aussie New Zealand. Aussie New Zealand, we still have some room to the downside to go here. So let's see. Okay, so I like it on the M15. Watch this down candle here. If we lose that, then basically look to sell to go there here at 1.09187. Okay, so if you lose this down candle, then trade to 1.09187. Right, it'd be a nice scalp for today. Another trade idea that I spotted earlier yesterday was this one, but I didn't share it because it's a lower time frame trade idea. But the idea was we took a previous day's low, we broke structure with a nice impulse leg. So this pullback to OTE are likely going to go up there. This morning, how the drop happened was a little bit scary, so I didn't take it. To be honest, I didn't take this one, but it's kind of playing out. The reason why I didn't take it was because I I left my trade idea, the entry. I think yesterday I said this one missed us by 1 pip, so I still had that entry there. I had one entry here, which once we moved away, I put my stop loss to break even. So I broke even here and then I got triggered in this trade. So for those of you on the platform, you will get triggered on this trade and you'll be already in some profit. If you did miss that, make sure you wait for this up candle to be broken because you've missed the trade. Okay, you missed the entry. So wait for the wait for this up candle to be broken, then you can look for an entry. All right, now if you look at the gap, the level that I came to, it came to this very one, the one that formed between here. That's exactly where it came to, which, if you understand time and price, this is 8 o'clock. Okay, so yeah, that's that. So I think pretty much that's all. Now let's go and look at gold because I shared something on gold yesterday. Remember we talked about this price level, the 3,3033. That is the 70.5 level, and I said watch, if price comes up and then it breaks down, that's the only time you're gonna look for a sell. Well, guess what? We did that this morning. So we took out the previous day's high and then we broke down and then we pulled back, and then I'm expecting them to go down. Now if we break this low, I think they will come back somewhere here to where I was expecting them to form the low of the day. Okay, I'm sorry. Did I say low of the day? Low of the week. Okay, they'll be coming to where I wanted them to form the low of the week. So if we lose this, then price is gonna come here. We are at a level that if you want to, you can take a trade right there. The only downside to it is that we have the rate announcement later today. That's the only downside to this trade idea. If not, then if there was no rate announcement, then this would have been the trade, something like this. You're expecting them to go all the way down here, because remember, if we are expecting higher prices, then the market should have given us a move to the downside first. Okay, the market should have given us a move to the downside first, but because it didn't give us the move to the downside first and it went up first, then that idea gives the impression that they will form a high. And that's why I projected this level to anticipate that they're going to form the high. Now, if you pay attention, right, when I was discussing about waiting for a pattern to form, now you've seen it, right? That's how the pattern looks like. I would have preferred them leaving a gap here, okay, which makes it even stronger, but it's okay. Okay, the best would be when they are going down, they leave a gap up here, because that would make it that's this a breaker, that's a gap, then the last up can be in a bearish order block, and that will give you a strong area for price to resist. Okay, so again, this will be the potential trade for maybe this afternoon. This can be a target, and then maybe sit on your hands and see how the rate announcement, because that rate announcement can do anything. I don't really care what the rate announcement will do, to be honest, because it can go anywhere. But what I do care is the fact that when we are approaching it, maybe price would be down here, and that will be it. That's all you can afford to get. Whatever comes after, it doesn't matter. Okay, so in a way, what I'm saying is you can sell here, put your stop loss there, target this low, get your 2 to 1 or whatever you get, then be done. Move to the sidelines, and then whatever happens after the rate announcement release, you don't care. Okay, whatever happens after the rate announcement release, you don't care, right? Because if you try to predict, which I don't want anybody to do that unless you're really good at this, I don't want you to predict what price is going to do with a rate announcement. Rate announcements are not easy to predict. Okay, so don't go in thinking you can know what price is going to do, because it can be erratic. It can go up, come back down, go up, come back down, and don't do anything. It will just stay in that area. Okay, so gold, look for them to attack this low and then move to the sidelines. Crude oil, yesterday it actually couldn't trade to that level, which was the 618, which again on the daily time frame was the fair value gap, right? It couldn't even trade there and then rejected, which I didn't catch any of that. Strange. I couldn't get in. I was looking for an entry, I couldn't get in. It didn't give no such thing as an entry to me personally. So I didn't get anything out of that. But upon going back to, because I go back to some trade ideas. If I don't get triggered, I go back and then I check why. What was the reason why I didn't get triggered, or what was the reason why what I was expecting didn't play out? And then I realized that here it did actually trade to this down candles low. What I was expecting was the gap and the down candles closing price, but all it did was come to the down candles low here and then reject it, forming the high. So going forward, I think we might be coming for these equal lows here, meaning this high might be the high of the day. Sorry, the high of the week. Okay, that might be the high of the week. So we'll be expecting lower prices going forward. And on the H4, this will be a nice area, this down candle, and then this gap will be a nice area for a sell, and then we come and attack these equal lows. So we can have, now this being an up candle, it's a little bit dodgy. We can use that as a breaker. So this down candle slow can be used. Stop loss goes above the up candle, targeting this, and then I think there was a big wick somewhere. This one, we can reach for that as well. This one. Okay, so if you do get that trade, make sure you take something off. If you get triggered and price starts coming back down at this level, let's say price gets up here and you get triggered and it starts coming down. Once it hit this level, move your stop loss to this down candle, this one, the high of it, or just above the gap. So you kind of secure some quote unquote profit, or you reduce your risk. Basically, it's not securing profit, you actually reduce your risk. Then once we get here, put your stop loss to break even and then close as much as you can on that trade. Put your stop loss to break even, close as much as you can on that trade, and then you let the rest run and see how far it can go, if you can reach for that level. Okay, so that's how I'll be playing this. Now in terms of the entry, if you don't want to sell it as it's coming back up, just wait for a 15 minutes or a 5 minutes and then you can sell. Okay, all right, let's move on to ES. So ES, on the daily, yesterday, after that rejection, I think when we were having our session, price was somewhere here, right? And I wanted to see them go one more time up before doing this. Or if you go back to the weekly, at least it's very close to that previous week high and this candle's low. That's what I wanted to see. I wanted them to at least trade and touch that, then we break down. But price didn't obey my command and then we rejected. So during the New York session, which is the 2 p.m., I was anticipating them to go for this low, to trade into this gap. So I had a session with my private student, and my private student actually traded the 1 minute chart. So we were looking for a trade idea to come down here. Initially, I was looking for a buy to trade when this candle was printing. I was looking for a buy to trade here to 50%, and then we move back down. But price was, not budging. It wasn't doing it. So what I did was I switched to selling. So I'm gonna show you the trades that I took, because I want to be as transparent as possible. So I bought here. I bought here. Let me activate the execution so you can see. Where was it? Oh, not there. My bad. It was here instead. Here, this one. Okay, I bought that, anticipating them to go to that 50%, and I'll look for it to sell to go lower. But price didn't do it. It came back and stopped me out because my stop loss was, I think, below this low. Okay, yeah, I remember now. I bought here with my stop loss there, and I was looking for that 50%. 50% was going to get me somewhere here. A 2-to-1 idea. And price didn't do it. So then the move to the downside was going to be the game for the day. So I did what? I sold this fair value gap. So this high to this low, I sold that fair value gap, this one, on this candle. The trade idea was derived from the 5-minute chart. And the idea was I was selling this range, this high to this low. So this high to this low. And I was basically using the gap. And because of time of the day, I was looking for this, but again, time of day was not great. So I only targeted this low. So if you can see, I actually got out right here. I was not even in front of the screen when that happened. I went to pick my son from school, and by the time I came back, price had taken my profit. So on the 1 minute, it did spend a lot of time because I was watching it till I actually went out to pick up my son. I stayed in all of that watching it. And with this, I actually placed my stop loss right above this candle's high, because the gap on the 5 minutes, okay, was here. So it doesn't need to go up there, and it should drop. So that's where I placed my stop loss, and I stayed in all of that, and then boom, price went to my TP. So let me show you how it looks like. So the first trade was this one. I lost $800, and then the second trade was that one. Okay, so that was that. And this afternoon, I think I'll do the same thing. I'll be looking for another potential trade. So as long as this gap is open, I'm expecting them to drop here. This gap, as long as that is open, I'm expecting them to drop here. So during that 2 p.m., that's when I'll start doing some action on it. Okay, so at 2 p.m., you wanna, when this blue line, purple line, once it starts, reference point is this gap. You want them to form a high and then drop to this level. All right, and if I do get a trade idea, I'll share with you tomorrow. But all you want to see is something like this on the 5 or 15 minutes when the time comes. When this time comes, you want to see something like this, and then you take a sell to continue going to this level. Okay, so that is that for the S&P 500. Okay, let's go to AI 16. So last night, this is what I drew. I was watching it here, and I saw the nice buying pattern. So I anticipated them breaking it, coming back, and then going up, which it did. One, it did two. Now I'm waiting for the three. It looks like it's doing it, but now we've pulled back to this gap. So let's see how this gap is gonna react. We should move from it and go up. If we lose that down candle, then they'll come back and attack this low, and then probably attack this low as well. Okay, so watch this. Solana, let's move to the high time frame, because the high time frame still prevails. We are looking for lower prices. Bitcoin, the same thing. We are looking for lower prices. As long as this gap is open, we are looking for lower prices. This time, like I said, it's very, very frustrating when cryptos move into this type of trading ranges. It's very, very frustrating, because it's not expanding up or down, and they like it spend a lot of time in there. It's not expanding up or down. So if you do trade during that time of the year, you get, I don't know, murdered in there. Same thing. But if you focus down, then when price takes out a previous day's high, as I explained yesterday, then wait for them to break a down candle. Then you look for a continuation to the downside. All right. Or if you want to be on the safe side, just put your stop loss above the gap and then look for that lower prices. I mean, if we break this and then look for that lower prices, because again, price is not likely going to go above the gap. If it does, then it's changing direction. So then there's no need to be in the sell. You can protect yourself above the gap and then look for lower prices. Ethereum, okay, that is a surprise. I've actually not seen that. Let me go to the daily. Okay, I barely look at this one. So this is the gap, and then they've traded above it. So what is rejecting it right now? I think I've explained. You know what, let's get rid of this. Actually, no, let's go and do it over here. So we have this gap here, but it's gone through it and it's rejecting. So what's rejecting it? So what we do, place a line